Welcome back to News Talk and our preview of Sunday's Redskins-Dallas game. Former Pro Bowl tight end Gene Fugett, who played for both teams, is here. We've got phone lines open for your questions and comments. Join us if you'd like to talk with number 84. The number on your screen, 703-387-1020. Again, those of you watching live in the 10 a.m. hour who want to talk with former NFL Pro Bowl tight end Gene Fugett, late of the Cowboys and Redskins, join us by calling 703-387-1020. We look forward to your calls, and we'll go back to the phones as your calls come in. Having seen the inside of multiple NFL playbooks, what will you be watching for Sunday night when the two teams take?
Well, I'm going to be watching for a number of things. First, I'm going to be watching to see Robert Griffin III, if he's more flexible than he was last week. Does he have the knee brace on? You know, I had second thoughts about whether he should have played last week, and I'm glad I'm not a head coach because on one hand, you want him to get healthy, but on the other hand, you didn't want to put a bigger target on his back that's already there. I mean, already this morning, Drew Pearson's tweeting in Dallas that the Cowboys have to get to Robert and hit him hard early in the game. I guess that goes back to Al Davis, hit the quarterback and put him down hard. But that is the key. So my mother always used to say, and she had Colts season tickets for many, many years, that it all starts up front. So the offensive and defensive line will be really important as the game starts.
Are you surprised that Robert Griffin III has been as effective as he's been with a receiving corps that I don't think anyone would call elite or top tier? Well,
no, because of the scheme of the offense, the receivers don't have to have individual skills to get open. By running their patterns properly, a lot of times the formation and the faking and the defense they're in will permit players to come across. Redskins run more crossing routes than many teams in the league, and a crossing route is one of the most difficult routes because if you're playing man-to-man, you have to follow the guy all the way across the field, which is difficult. If you're playing zone, you let him go and release him to someone else, and a lot of times that someone else is not there. So again, it's the scheme. And a lot of credit has to go to Coach Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan for that.
The Dallas Cowboys in the Tony Romo era have been uneven, kind of like the Giants. You don't know which team is going to show up from week to week. Will you be watching Sunday to see if it's pumping on all the?
Well, that's what I'm worried about. The Cowboys have a bigger core of veterans, and they've been in this game before. Now, most of the Redskins have never been in a game like this. Robert Griffin's never been in a game like this. I can tell you just a Sunday game going to Sunday night makes it a different game. It's like Monday Night Football when the whole world is watching. And I know as a young player, you're going to be a half a step behind. It's a big chance you could make a mental error because there's so much pressure and you're considering things that you didn't even consider last week when you just went out and played. So I think the Cowboys have a big advantage in experience in games like this. We remember Tony Romo fumbling the conversion, Tony Romo, not getting there. Can he do that forever? We hope one more time, right?
You're a local guy, so you'll, I think, understand where I'm going with this next question. There are a lot of people who live here in the Washington area who are from somewhere else, and therefore they root for someone else. They're a Steelers fan, Eagles, whomever. And a lot of times, when Redskins fans can't go to a game, they put their tickets online, and those tickets are then gobbled up by supporters of fill in the blank, whoever it is who's coming to town. Does it matter to a player on the field whether you've got that 99% environment where basically everyone in the arena is there for you, they're on their feet, they're cheering for you the whole time, versus what we so often see at FedEx Field, this mishmash of Redskins Steelers fans, Redskins Eagles fans? Does that matter to the guys with the home?
Well, first of all, there is a home field advantage. And by playing at home and sleeping in your bed or the bed you're used to sleeping in and playing on the field. I mean, look, when we played at the Astrodome, the Oilers knew where the zippers were. So you could run a pass pattern and run the guy to a zipper and he'd trip and get open. So there are advantages to playing at home. Number two, this crowd will be unlike any crowd in FedEx in a long time. And I assure you that most of them will be Redskins fans.
Sometimes, though, we do see a lot of those foreign jerseys. If I could wave my wand and
well, a good example of that was the Raven game, Bruce. When I came over from Baltimore, I thought I was at a Raven game when I saw so much purple and black in the parking lot.
Isn't that shouldn't
Redskins look, if these guys are concentrating on the game, that will have no effect. There'll be more effect to the fans booing each other than the actual players on the field.
All right, so you gave us one little insight into some of the trickery, if you will, around the league by mentioning the turf inside the Astrodome. Is it true that the Giants under Bill Parcells had some system where they could open and close doors to affect the kind of legendary wind
Well,
patterns?
you got to talk to Mark Mosley. See, I've used my journalism background. I used to always interview the kickers. It was interesting how each stadium had different winds. And it was true that you could affect the wind by opening and closing doors. In fact, we still wonder about that Patriot design where it's open on one end, closed on the other. And you have to know how to kick there to be successful.
Talk about the sorts of changes we're seeing around the league in terms of violence and concussion awareness, injuries in general. It seems now that officials are throwing the flag on plays that guys like Jack Lambert and others back in the day
beat me up, right?
Right. I mean, some players from the past, their entire highlight reel, if you were to play it today, would be one illegal play. Using the 2012 definition.
Bruce, don't get on me. I am an attorney, but the league is run by lawyers today. And all of these changes are really fake because of all those concussion lawsuits that are going on. And the way, well, I don't think the league really cares if players get hurt or not. They don't. And like Drew Brees just said, we have very little credibility in the commissioner's office based on how they treat the players. And this goes back to when I was playing. Look, we didn't have the right to our own medical records, so they passed the HIPAA law. I still don't know how many concussions I had. So if you tell me the owners really care about the players, I'm going to laugh until the end of this show. So from that respect, I think that what's happening now is just a public relations battle. Because I would not let my son play football until they got to high school. No tackle football. Because, look, the brain's not formed, the bones are not formed. And I get out here and see kids playing minor league football, and I say, let me see you bull your neck, and they don't even know what I'm talking about. And I just turn and look at the coach and shake my head. We have so many unqualified coaches. So parents, when your kids go, you go with them. And you go to the game, and you let the coach know you're there, because that's the only protection they really have in a lot of situations. And I'm a real crusader for that. Football should be a touch game, and girls should play up to high school.
Do you think we'll see more women playing, whether it's kicker or some other position, in high school or college?
Well, we've seen them in tackle, but I really would like to see a full flag effort. And my daughter says she would have been the best football player in her family. She was a great athlete. She walked on GW as a basketball player, by the way.
Going back to what you said a moment ago, roles at a time, you would discourage young people from playing?
Absolutely.
Sort of Pop Warner?
Absolutely. No tackle.
Why not extend that and say, you know what, high school, by the time kids get to high school, some of them are big, they want to impress, they're going to hit hard, maybe legally, maybe not. What makes high school?
Well, you're mostly formed by then, and most of your muscle groupings are formed, and you've had time to train. So you have to train to be able to be in a proper football technique. Most football injuries come from either fatigue or being out of position, which comes from fatigue. That's what Vince Lombardi meant when he said, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
You played for a number of teams. You played for a couple different teams during your career in the NFL. You played for a number of different quarterbacks. We hear analysts today talk about receivers and quarterbacks having a special relationship. Who, for you, did you have that?
Well, I watched Joe Theismann's car. I watched Roger Staubach's car. Look, the quarterback goes back. He can decide who he's going to throw to. And I had a great relationship with all my quarterbacks. Craig Morton, Roger Staubach, Cliff Longley. I caught Billy Kilmer's last touchdown. And, of course, Joe Theismann, who started a great career with us back with Jack Clayton was coach.
Does anyone stand out, though, as someone, nonverbal communication, the sense of...
Billy Kilmer. Billy Kilmer was the toughest guy, and I have more respect for him than any. Roger ended his career, much like Aikman, by getting concussions, and he had concussions. So many times in the game, we helped Roger Staubach back to the huddle. So flashbacks all those times, Roger went back to the pants and took right off. He forgot to play because he was out on his feet. Happened many times. So my first game with the Redskins was against the Giants. Henry Carson comes through, hits Kilmer right with that one bar. Kilmer had a one-bar face mask. Going all over the place. Every lineman walked past it and went back to the huddle. I was downfield for a pass. I'm one of the last people to pass. That's why nobody's helping him up. I reached to help him up. He cussed me and told me to get my butt back in the huddle. And everybody in the huddle was laughing at me. I'm 50 years in the NFL. I'm a rookie with the Over-the-Hill Redskins. And they laughed at me and said, Fugett, you saw how hard they came last? I said, yeah, well, if you help the quarterback up, how hard will they be coming on the next play? And that was welcome to the Redskins.
Kilmer's ball was kind of a flutter ball.
Well, that's why I made the Pro Bowl that year, because I had two All-Pros, Charlie Taylor and Roy Jefferson, and Kilmer couldn't throw past 30 yards.
I'm not going to ask you for a prediction because I don't know why.
No, I'm going to be wearing burgundy and gold, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Thanks very much for coming in. Great having you with us. Number 84 for both your Redskins and the Cowboys. Gene Fugett, great having you with us. Happy New Year. Really great having you here.
And same to you and your staff. Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll come back with much more news talk right after.